What's going on, everyone? Protopon here, back with another Pokemon type tier list. Today we're covering the Psychic type. We've got quite a bit to talk about today, guys, so I don't want to hold you up too much, so let's just dive right on into it. Alright, for those of you who have never seen a tier list of mine and are new to the channel, I have 3 basic rules for these tier lists. Here they are, real brief. We're just ranking Pokemon based off their design, how much I like them, not competitive viability. We're usually just ranking final stage evolutions, with exceptions if I really like a pre-Evo better. And we'll be ranging things in order in the A through D tier list. Anything that gets thrown up into S tier at any given point, we will rearrange S tier at the very end of the video. That being said, let me know who your favorite Psychic type Pokemon is, guys, down in the comments below. And let's get this thing started off with a lovely Alolan Raichu. Back in my electric tier, it's found itself in the B tier. It's still going to find itself in the B tier here in the Psychic tier. Sometimes, depending on the typing, we'll change a tier rank for a Pokemon. In this case, it's just going to stay a B tier, and I don't really need to rehash why. Here is a first exception. Out of the entire Alakazam line, I honestly like Abra's design better than the rest of them. But it's going to find its way in the B tier here. The Abra line in general, it's solid. I mean, Alakazam is a very strong Psychic type. Anybody who's played Gen 1 games knows how oppressive Sabrina can be with her Alakazam. Not much more to say on that. I do just really love the cute, simplistic way that Abra looks. Not much more for me to say on the subject. Going back to Galarian Slowbro here. Back in the Poison tier, it found itself in the B tier. Psychic type doesn't really help it out much more in this one. I think it's still going to be a B tier design here. Still like it a little bit better than the Alolan Raichu. Moving on from there, we have Slowbro. And of course, for this, since Slowbro and Slowking can both split, I'm going to rank which version of them I like better. So obviously in this case, Galarian Slowbro is the I like better than normal Slowbro. Looks better. I like the original Slowking look better than the Galarian Slowking look. Not by much, but when we ranked the Galarian Slowking back when we did the Poison tier, it found its way in the C tier. I think normal Slowking lands itself in the A tier, and I'm going to put it right here next to Slowbro. Sometimes these things happen. Sometimes we don't rank every last Pokemon just based off of, certain design aspects. Like, we'll get to it in this video when we get to Necrozma. Let's move on, though, real quick. Hypno. I've always thought Hypno was a fair design. It's like obviously not over the top. Apart from its lore, I think it's a pretty solid Pokemon, solid design. It's not over the top, but it definitely looks like a Pokemon. And in game, I think I would gravitate probably using one of these more than these here. The problem is that as much as I probably honestly, Hypno just gets so overshadowed by Alakazam, but I think I'd rather use a Hypno over a Kadabra, especially in a game where you can't, trade Evo for Alakazam, especially in the original generations. If you didn't have your link cable to link to your friends' games, you couldn't get an Alakazam. I'd much rather use a Hypno over a Kadabra, but design-wise, I think Abra is just better, so we're gonna leave them here. Executor, This version, of course, is Psychic. The Galarian one is, or what is it? The Alolan one, right, is Dragon Grass. This is Grass Psychic, so we get to rank a different one. I'm not really here nor there on Executor. I think I'm leaning B tier, maybe top C tier. Like, it's a good Pokemon. It's solid. This is kind of baseline because this was sitting here at the bottom of my B tier in the electric tier list, so this is kind of like a gatekeeper right now. But I'd rather run Executor over an Alolan Raichu. Probably not. Let's put Executor at the top of C tier. Still a fair design, but it's really, I don't know. I think C tier is perfectly fine for him. Starmie is definitely an A tier Pokemon. Great design, simple but elegant. The gem, beautiful. Staryu, of course, isn't psychic typing. Gains the psychic typing when it evolves. So not much to say here. I think it's solid. It's a good Pokemon all around, so I think A tier is very valid for this. Here's a nice example. I'm not going to do Mr. Mime because Mr. Rhyme is just the better looking design. So we're just going to rank Mr. Rhyme here, and in my Ice video, I ranked him as a B tier, and I don't really think the Psychic subtracts or adds to it design-wise. I think I like it better than these. Do I like it more than the Hypno? Yes, but I still probably would rather use a Hypno in a playthrough, but I'll separate Hypno from Abra. I think that's fine. I think that's fair. Jinx, D tier. Same as Ice type. We don't really need to discuss Jinx. Galarian Articuno is definitely an S tier. I don't really have much more to say about it. I love Articuno to begin with. I think that the Galarian one definitely looks pretty sick. It's definitely a vibe. Moving on, let's just do Mew and Mewtwo together. They're both solid in, the competitive scene, especially Mewtwo, obviously. My problem, obviously, with Mew is very limitation. I'm going to say B tier is fair. It's very cute. I like its design. I'm going to rank its design as definitely a high B tier. I still like Abra's design better. Mewtwo, it's a solid design. I am not setting him in S tier. I think Mewtwo is still one of the most overrated Pokemon. Obviously, yes, back in the day when he first launched, he was one of the most, if not the most powerful Pokemon you could get. Obviously, power creep in today's world, he's not as good as he once was, but he's still solid. I still think he is way overrated, but I still like him. It's kind of similar to some other cases that we've covered in the past with overrated Pokemon. I'm going to say A tier for him. I still like him, don't get me wrong. I just think he's really overrated. Do I like it better than Starmie? I still think Starmie is just more interesting in all honesty, so even in its simplicity itself. So let's just move on from there. Xatu, I think it's fair. It's a fair design. It's interesting. I'm having a difficulty. Would I use them over a Raichu in a playthrough? Probably not. I'm gonna say C tier, but like high C tier. I have a lot of respect for this Pokemon line and its design. I think it got so overshadowed in Gen 2 because by the time you could get a Natu, like you could already had like a Hoot with a good, or a Noctowl, I should say, with a good psychic setup, and just was better to use Noctowl is a psychic type, even though he wasn't psychic typing, but Espeon is great. Definitely S tier. I'm not even gonna. It's gonna be very hard to ever put an EV evolution lower than an A tier. Some of them will eventually, if I don't remember how many we've covered already, some of them probably will end up in A tier, but like, come on guys, it's EV evolutions are top notch, let's be real. Unknown, just in its many forms, just D tier. It's very gimmicky. I mean, lore wise, yeah, it all makes sense. They're parts of the alphabet, but just like overall design wise and usability wise, it's just D tier. Why not? Of course, I mean, what? Wobbuffet is full psychic, right? Why not evolves into him? Why not is psychic typing, and yeah, the reason why he is here is because I just think he's so cute in comparison to Wobbuffet. I like it better than Wobbuffet, so it's here. I think B tier is fair. It's very cute. Obviously, I would rather use an Alolan Raichu over it. We're gonna let Why Not now be the gatekeeper to B tier, just based off of its cuteness alone. I think that's fine. Girafarig. Giraffe, its new thing. We've covered this before recently in the normal type tier list. I like the giraffe better than the Farigiraffe, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. And I definitely like it better than those guys. We'll put them there right behind Hypno. I'd still probably rather use a Hypno in a playthrough, so not much really more to say. Lugia, S tier, one of my favorite legendaries of all time. Definitely probably within my top 5 more than likely. I should probably do a legendaries list at some point. S tier. It's Lugia. Lugia is amazing. I know that we all agree that he probably should have been either flying water type, or I could argue psychic water type in all honesty, because he, as a bird, I mean, you'd think, oh yeah, okay, flying, but using its psychic powers, you could also help him fly, whatever. It doesn't matter. Either way, the water typing should have been there, but whatever. Let's just move on. Celebi is great. I love Celebi. I think A tier is fine. I like its design. It's cute. Honestly, you guys are gonna kill me over this Mewtwo thing. I feel like I like it better than Mewtwo. Do I like it better than Starmie? It's very cute, but I think we're gonna keep it behind Starmie here. Glade. I guess we should have covered Gardevoir too, but we've already done that in the fairy type tier list. And out of the 2 forms, I like Glade better. But if you guys haven't seen my fairy type tier list, Gardevoir made its way into the A tier. Glade, again, is going to make its way into the A tier. I just like Glade's design better than Gardevoir. Like it better than Mewtwo. This is going to now be the top of A tier for the time being. We don't even need to waste time. I love Glade. Glade is cool. His shiny is amazing. Medicham gets a lot of hate. I remember my first playthrough of Ruby, which was the original version I had for Gen 3. I had one of these on my team. I enjoyed using it. I think B tier is fine. I have a slight personal bias with this thing. I know it's not that great competitively, but I think its design is still fine. I'm gonna put it here because I think I definitely like it better than Mr. Rhyme in all honesty. I just don't like Mr. Mime's designs, and they're okay in general. Mr. Mime is like a C tier. But Mr. Rhyme's cool and all, but I don't know. I still think I like Medicham better. We're just gonna keep these at the bottom. What am I doing? All right, moving on. Another really underrated Pokemon, Grumpig. I love this thing's design as a psychic type. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I know it's not great. Like its best stat is what special defense at 110. Everything else is just kind of, you know, like 280s, a 90, a 65, and a 45. Like, its stats are really not great all throughout, but I still, again, this is based off of design, and I just thought it was a really good design for Gen 3. I'm going to put it below Mewtwo. I do like Mewtwo's design better, of course. He's just very powerful looking. But yeah, I think design-wise, Grunpig is a little underrated. I think it's better than... I think people should probably, you know, at least give it some sort of respect. The Sun and the Moon here, we've covered in the Rock type tier list. I put them in C tier. They're gonna find their way in here again. I like their design. Well, I like the Moon. I've always liked the Moon better than the Sun. I think Executor is better design than the Sun here. So, but yeah, not a whole lot to say on Solrock and Lunatone there. Not a whole lot to talk about there. Moving on, Claydol. Claydol is going up into the S tier for me, guys. I love using this Pokemon in a playthrough. If I need a Psychic type and I have the option of getting a Baltoy and a Claydol, I'm usually gravitating towards that because the ground typing with the Psychic typing is pretty amazing in my opinion. He's got such good bulk in his defense and his special defense. Like, he's just good for setting stuff up. So moving on, we have Chimecho, and there's really not a whole lot to say about Chimecho. He's just kind of there. He's cute, but I'm gonna put him maybe at the top of D tier. Unknown can actually go in front of Jinx here. There's really not much more for me to say on Chimecho though. There really isn't. Metagross, S tier. Same as in the Steel type tier list. It's gonna find its way into the S tier. The Eon Pokemon in Latios and Latias, again, S tier designs in my opinion, regardless if we're just talking about them being dragons or psychic types. I love those designs. Jirachi found its way in the C tier in the Steel tier list, still gonna find its way here in this tier list. It is going to hop above these just because it is extremely cute, but apart from that, its design is very bland. Moving on, Deoxys. Specifically, Speed Form is my favorite form of Deoxys. S tier. Yeah, look. Get over it. I think Deoxys is way cooler design than Mewtwo. It's got as many forms. The attack form is really cool. Definitely the second coolest one out of them all. But I just think the speed form just always had that elegance to it. So it's gonna find its way here again. Obviously this is the only time we're covering it. It's only psychic type. It is going to find its way into the S tier. Bronzong was a B tier back in the Steel type, and it's gonna find its way here yet again. We're just gonna move these guys down because I don't really know if there's anything gonna be lower than that in between them and Raichu. Bronzong, we'll put right here. I think that's fine. Bring these over. We'll keep those guys down there for now. The Lake Spirits. Uxie, I always liked Uxie's design better. It just looked more regal. They're all just gonna be next to each other. Azelf and then Mesprit. I'm just gonna they're gonna find their way into B tier design wise. They're simple, they're not over the top. they're definitely a trio. Not really much to say on them. Cresselia is definitely an A tier. Very elegant and majestic looking. Gonna have to say more towards the top here, I think, for me. Victini, very cute. Again, just kind of like, I don't know. Don't really have too much to say on Victini here. I mean, it's also fire typing. We'll cover fire typing eventually. I'm gonna put Victini right here, next to the lake spirits. He's very cute. I don't know. I just don't see a point. I don't know. All right, Musharna here is a C tier for me. I've never used one. I never had an interest to use one. Again, the most recent game that I've played since its debut has been Sword and Shield, because there was a long gap between, Gen 4 / let's see, I picked up Alpha Sapphire as what was that? Was a Gen 6 remake, right? It's Mega Pokemon? Yeah, that sounds about right. But I don't think Musharna was in there by then. It is a Gen 5 Pokemon. I probably just didn't see one if I was capable of finding one. But anyway, the first time I ever saw this Pokemon, long story short, sorry, I'm rambling, was Gen 8, and I had access to Claydol, so Swoobat. I'm currently doing a flying type playthrough in Sword and Shield. This guy is cute. I know he's not the greatest, but I've got a very specific theme going on in my flying type playthrough of that game. I'm gonna put Swoobat right here. I think design-wise, it's worthy of a B tier. The Sigilyph, great Pokemon, don't get me wrong. Very, like, as far as flying psychic goes, very strong, very good Pokemon. Design-wise, it's not it for me, man. It is not it. I'm torn between putting it at the top of D tier or... Yeah, I'll put it in C tier. I'll put it in C tier because I do like it's at least a little bit better design-wise than Musharna. Gothitelle, definite A tier for me. Love this design. I wish they would have given it the dark type as well. That'd been really cool. I'm actually shocked how far up the ladder this thing is climbing real quick here, but I think that's fair. Not a whole lot to talk about. I have never used one before. I should probably try it out sometime. Reuniclus here, I actually really like a lot too. I don't think I'm gonna put it in A tier, but I think sitting here up towards the top of B tier for me, I think that's pretty fair. We'll go with that. Behem is the Claydol wannabe. It's just Claydol minus the ground type. I don't have much to talk about because I've never used one, but I'm just like, again, if I want a psychic type, I'm grabbing the Claydol in a game where they both exist. So Meloetta, we've talked about in the normal type tier list. It is going to find its way back into the A tier yet again. Very good design. Very majestic looking. Very elegant, I should say. It's more elegant. Delphox. Mixed feelings on this thing, man. It's definitely the worst out of that generation's final stage starters by far, in my opinion. I think it's still fine, like it's still fitting. guess it can find its way into B tier. I think that's fair. Hisuian Braviary. Now, here's a Pokemon, guys. Definitely A tier worthy. Big bird on campus. This is gonna get really tricky for me, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. This thing is just really, this is just really good looking. I'm like really thinking about it. Wow. Yep. Okay. I definitely like Glade better. We'll put Hisuian Braviary right here. Its design is just really good looking to me. Gives you those dark colors, that purple and blue highlight. Very cool looking to me. Really enjoying that. Let's see here. All right, now Meowstic, specifically female form. Love this. Very cute design. A tier for me. You guys are gonna kill me, I swear. That's all right. We'll put it here. Why is that not focusing? I swear this thing's like. Do you see that? It's like I click on it and then it. Whatever. Okay, it doesn't need to be that big. You guys get the picture though. It's just very cute. I really enjoy this thing's design. It's like one of those things where it's like if you had a Pokemon that would like follow you around, not really like kind of be almost like the mascot of your team almost. Kind of like a shoulder Pikachu for Ash. It's like, yeah, it's, you know, whatever. You guys get it. It's not really the guy that you're sending into battle, but the one that kind of lingers around as your like lap Pokemon. This fits that bill very well, and I really like its design for that. Malamar. Malamar is also, last time found its way in the A tier, back in the Dark type tier, and it's going to find its way here yet again. Just because I think it's a very solid design. It's very powerful looking. It's regal. I'm going to put it... I think right here is fine. I think this is fitting. I think that's fine. All right, Hoopa Unbound. All right, let me talk about Hoopa Unbound here for a moment. The last time we covered Hoopa Unbound was in the Dark type tier list, where I gave it the C tier. Since then, it has grown on me a bit more than I originally gave it credit for. I think it is, I mean, it's definitely better than its normal Unbound form, but Hoopa, or its bound form, I should say, but Hoopa Unbound, very cool. It definitely, I guess it definitely looks more of a Psychic type than a Dark type, but it definitely looks like a Dark type as well, but I'm going to upgrade it to B tier for this video, for sure, and how much do I want to upgrade this thing? I'm going to upgrade it to 3rd place in the B tier for the Psychic typing. Call me crazy. You probably already have, but I'm thinking that's fair. It is a really cool looking Pokemon. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Oranguru found its way in the C tier last time. It's going to find its way into the C tier again. Psychic typing definitely makes it definitely looks more psychic than normal, right? But it's still a C tier in my opinion. We'll put the monkey next to the tree, and he can eat some coconuts while he's there. My goodness. This is the most ugly Pokemon in the existence of Pokemon. I'd rather have a Jinx. I don't really think we need to talk about Bruxish, guys. It's terrible. Lele, back in the fairy type, we put at the top of B tier. Or towards the top of B tier. This design is fine. Abra is just gonna sit literally in the B zone. We'll put Lele right here. Still a good, cute design. It's fine. Lunala, right? Yeah, Lunala, ghost type, found its way in the S tier. Still gonna find its way in the S tier now. Don't really have too much to say on it. It's just really great. Solgaleo, same thing. Found its way in the A tier last time. It's gonna find its way in the A tier yet again for me. And this tier list, we'll move all these guys over here, and we'll put this right here. All right, Necrozma. Now, this is one of those things where it's got so many forms, and back when we covered the Steel type, we didn't do Necrozma Solgaleo fusion, as well as, back in the Ghost type, we didn't do the Necrozma Lunala fusion. We covered the Dragon type version of Necrozma in Dragon tier. We're not going to do it here because it is its own Pokemon in that form. We're not doing all its other forms, but it is definitely S tier in my, it's either sitting at the towards the top of A tier or it's S tier, and I'm torn. I'm very torn. I will put it at the top of A tier for now, I think. I think that's fine. I think that's fair. Orbeetle and the Bug type. I love this Pokemon. I really do. I think A tier still, in the Bug type, it was an A tier. Here, it's going to be an A tier. It's definitely not going to go past Mewtwo, though. Hatterene, again, A tier Pokemon, just like it was in the fairy type. I think I like Gothitel's look better, so we'll do that. I think that's fair. Indeedee is indeed going to be D tier like it was the last time, though so far it can sit at the top of D tier for us in this video. It's just so boring. It's just so boring to me. Calyrex, this thing is just dumb. It's not as dumb as Indeedee. I think it's at least a little bit better than Musharna if, Musharna didn't look like it could literally be Calyrex's hat. At least it doesn't look too weird as these. I'm going to put this thing right here next to the Soul Rock. And we're not doing him on the horses because we've already, gone over Glastrier and the other one. What is going on? What in the world is going on, guys? Technical difficulties. Give me one moment. All right, we're back, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what the heck happened there. Yeah, anyway, we're not covering the horses, him on the horses form. We're just looking at him. It doesn't change. We've already covered the horses in their respectable videos, so. Weirdier here is, still looks more like a normal type than a psychic type. It found its way in the B tier last time. I think it's going to find its way in the B tier again this time. Still like a solid deer design, but I'm going to put him right here in between Delphox and Mr. Rhyme. From there, we've got Armarouge, Ceruledge, top tier designs, regardless of what their typing is. It's finding its way in the S tier. He's an armored dude. He's awesome. I don't really have much more to say about him. Rabska here found itself in the C tier the last time we talked about it. It's going to find its way in the C tier yet again. Its shiny's pretty decent. Don't get me wrong. I mean, even this is fine. Is this actually its shiny? I don't even remember. It's fine. But it can go above Calyrex, I guess. What is this? It's Spathra, right? It's Spathra. I mean, good, solid Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. But design-wise, it's kind of just a little weird. But it's not completely terrible. We'll just start bumping all this stuff down here, guys. We're gonna put this here next to Xatu. And then we're gonna do this. We'll put a gap in between these guys, see if anything fills it. What is this thing? This is the Veluza. Veluza, really cool. Again, another water and psychic type, just like Starmie. Doesn't hit as hard, I think, as Starmie, but it still hits pretty hard. I mean, it's still water type. Its shiny's really cool. It like turns green. Where do we want to put the fish? I think we're gonna put the fish. We're gonna just cut off Hoopa's arms here, just to make some room. We're gonna put the fish in between Tapu Lele and Reuniclus. Actually, I think I like Reuniclus's design still better. And Bronzong's, in all honesty. We could put them in between Medichan and Bronzong. I think that's fair. Alright, moving on. We're almost done. Screamtail. Screamtail was a B tier last time in the Fairy type tier list, I believe. Yeah. Still gonna find its way here. We'll put it in between Medichan and Delphox. Don't really have much more to say about it. Virizian's Iron Leaves form. I think it's fair. I think it's fine. Never used one. Probably never will. We can drop Orbeetle. We'll put it right below Mewtwo. I think that's fine. Design-wise, I like it better than the Orbeetle, but I probably would honestly just rather use the Orbeetle in a playthrough because it would be easier to get and use for the longer time. But Monkey Dory, just like in the Poison type tier list, it's going to find its way in the D tier yet again. It pains me to do this, but I'll put it second. All right, Iron. What is it? A Boulder. Found its way in the B tier last time in the Rock type. It has definitely grown on me as a design since then. And I think we'll put Iron Boulder at the top of B tier this time. So he is now the ultimate gatekeeper. We're just gonna do that. Iron Crown we've done before. He was an A tier last time. I still think he's an A tier this time. Design wise, he just looks a little bit more interesting than Mewtwo to me, guys. Whoop, we almost did it again. But there's the list before we rearrange the S tier for me, guys. This is going to be hard. Espeon is, as much as I love Espeon, I'm gonna ask you guys a question and see if anybody can get it right. Espeon is, I mean, I love Espeon, but out of all of these, it's gonna be the bottom of S tier for me. Going forward, before we continue, Take a guess who you think is going to sit at the top of S tier for me, guys. Place your bets now. Unfortunately, you don't win anything if you get it right, except the credit of being right. Go ahead, cast your votes now. You will probably never guess who it's going to be unless you're somebody that is watching this video, and I've already told you who my favorite psychic type was in some sort of conversation here or there. Now that you guys have done that, let's continue. This is tricky. This is really tricky. I'm going to put the Galarian Articuno second from bottom. We are going to put the Armarouge third from bottom. We're going to put the Metagross fourth from bottom. Man, this is getting really tricky. I really do like Deoxys a lot as a psychic, especially as a legendary. But the thing is like legendaries... Legendaries are just like so niche to use in a playthrough. It's really coming down to that in this moment. All right, top three right here. There we go. There's the list, guys. At the top of S tier for me is Claydol. I really do just love using this Pokemon in a playthrough if I decide to run a Psychic type or a Ground type on my team. I mean, well, definitely the Psychic type. The Ground type is kind of a different story, but he is still, even then, one of my favorite Ground types to use. Because usually it's like, okay, well, I get two really good typings out of one Mon. But yeah, every time I've used this Pokemon in a playthrough, I've always enjoyed it. It is a good bulky Mon. It's good for setting things up. I mean, it had its time competitively way back when, and I believe it was Gen 3. It was like Gen 3 or 4. It wreaked some havoc. But again, we're not talking about competitively here. I just really like the design of this Pokemon as a Psychic type. But there's my list, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for stopping in. Again, leave your favorite Pokemon down in a comment below. And let's have a discussion. If you guys think I'm crazy on some of these things, like Mewtwo, go ahead. Leave a comment below. It's just going to help out the algorithm for me, and I would enjoy having a discussion about something. Anything you guys want to talk about. If you think I'm way off balance on one of these other guys, but again, this is just my opinions at the end of the day of how these things are designed. So, but anyway, guys, I've taken up enough time of your day today. So until next time, guys, stay safe out there. Take care. I'm Protopon. Peace.